run this.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? Do you want to clap?
No claps?
Yeah, we can kind of clap.
All right.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Born to Create podcast. I keep forgetting these intros now. Anyways, make sure to check us out on YouTube, iTunes, and on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, give us a nice rating, do all that fun stuff. Follow the Instagram at Born to Create podcast. And I just like to start this off. I know this goes out on the 24th, so actually I'll start off. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope everyone happy holidays. Just so no one gets offended. I'd like to start off to say rest in peace, Wesley Moss, a good friend of mine who passed away. This dude kind of just showed everyone that, you know, to live your best life, always had a smile on his face. And if there was anyone who just didn't give a fuck what anyone thought about him, it was this dude. Like, if he wanted to do something, he would go do it. Like, no judgment, didn't give a fuck about you, you know, type of thing. So, not to bring the whole mood down to the podcast, but just like to start it off with that. And, yeah. Yeah,
so 2020 goals. What's,
I mean, I know we talked about it a lot these past couple episodes, but one of them was kind of getting into the gym. We already started that. Actually,
how's about time?
Yeah, facts, man. I mean, got to keep our bodies in shape, carrying all that gear and stuff like that.
Big time.
And I mean, we're young, so we should be able to handle the gym and leg day. Cough, cough.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man.
Oh man, I'll explain my leg day story. So basically, I haven't worked out in like 4 months. Went to the gym on a Friday, did leg day, and my legs still hurt a week later. So
it'll happen. You'll be good after a month.
Yeah,
takes time.
And then we're going to work out tomorrow. Been working out a little bit with our buddy Josh. So it's always nice to have someone work out with you in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely one thing is plan on starting goals for 2020. Start them now, because like, what's having a new year gonna do anything about it unless you actually start it now and like kind of work your way into 2020 having those new goals already implemented into your life.
Yeah. Like, why do it in 2020 when you can do it today?
Oh, 100%.
Get it done now.
100%. You got any? Actually, well, you did ask me if I have any goals for 2020. Definitely want to take a trip out to Lake Louise.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Want to buy a minivan. I've said that a lot.
Yeah. It's on the list.
It's on the list. Want to hit up New York for sure. Probably want to get a Blackmagic 4K. Because I don't really need the 6K.
No.
Especially with my PC power right now. Like, I don't need 6K. The crop shouldn't really do too much for me anyway, since I do have the 24-70.
Yeah.
If I need something else, I'll go pick up another lens.
Yeah, it depends where you're shooting.
No, exactly. 100%. I have my 35 as well, which is still going to be cropped down a little bit, but it'll still be nice. I want to have like 10 consistent clients not throughout the year, but kind of work my way towards having that, just to be able to kind of sustain myself on my own type of thing, and then just produce content for them. That's all I can think of off the top of my head right now. I want to do skydiving, actually.
Add it to the list.
It's been on my list. I might try and do that for my birthday. That'd be cool. But yeah, what about you? What's your plans for 2020?
Just keep going at it. Just keep learning. Drop the mic.
Yeah, man.
Just keep shooting. Just do more studio shit, and finally have a PC getting built. Hopefully it'll be done by next week. Hopefully, and then I actually can start rendering stuff a lot faster.
Yeah,
and not explode my Mac like it's right now.
Yeah, fans overheating and everything.
Man, you just put Safari on and it overheats. Like,
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and I bought a fan to put under, like a fan mat to put under it.
Yeah, but how loud is the fan mat?
Same loudness. That's why I got these headphones so I can't hear it. Blast music and let it render.
That's too funny, man. That is too funny.
Yeah.
I think it's about time we introduce our guest here.
Let's go.
He has been involved with music and building skateboards as a young teenager. Yes, I did read that out of his about page on his website. He currently has over 11K on Instagram, and he has worked with brands such as Lyft and Suzy Q. Welcome, freelance photographer Will Carey.
Let's go. We
How's
got
it going, guys?
pretty good. We got no lights because Ace blew them.
Yeah, wow.
So no crazy lights for you, man.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
Welcome to the show.
It's all good.
The lights blew
Thanks for
themselves.
having me.
Oh, no problem, man.
No
Appreciate
problem. So how's your week been going so far?
Pretty good. I was up visiting family earlier this week. I'm working through the holidays, so this is like my only chance to see them. So it was good. Went up to like near Collingwood, if you know that area.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Just saw my mom, and there's some. I have like a nice little secret spot there, and shot some Highland cows. Like if you know, like the big, like the long-haired ones with the big horns and stuff.
They have some there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on your story, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it. I was like, where are you? Like Ireland or something?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Because I know Scotland has them.
Yeah, no. It's like my little secret spot in the middle of like nowhere, Ontario, and I just found him driving down the road one day. So anytime I go back home or to visit my mom, I always go check him out. So
That's pretty sick.
yeah, it was cool. Yeah, so relaxing and just shooting for myself, and then back to work now that I'm back in Ottawa. So
Yeah,
Sweet.
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Because I'm going to Wasaga Beach for Christmas.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
like pretty much same spot
yeah. It's like
around
right there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I'll try to find it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send you the location.
Sounds good.
So when did you first start taking photos?
Hmm.
If you can remember.
Yeah. Well, okay, this is kind of tough. So I started taking photos like, I don't know, 2015-ish, like around there. But it wasn't anything serious. Like I think I got a $300 camera from Best Buy and like a nifty 50, and like me and some friends went out and like took some photos. But it was when I came to university in 2016 here in Ottawa that I really started taking it a little bit more seriously. I had a friend whose name is Kerbins. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
I met up with him. We both went to university at the same time, and we just found each other randomly. And I asked him to take me on one of his photo shoots, and he did. And ever since then, it was just like full send, 100%.
Sweet.
Shit,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have someone else who's there with you type of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
To
Yeah.
kind of show you the ropes almost. And
Yeah, for sure. I like sold. I had my little. It was a Nikon D3300, and like I think I sold it probably 4 days after that shoot with him. I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna put all my money, all my time into this. Like I'm just gonna do it, and yeah,
Damn,
off one photo shoot. So.
that fast.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. And I was like, yeah. At the time, it seemed wild because we have like we have cameras in our phones and we have cameras like everywhere, So it seemed wild, but I spent like a good chunk of change on like a Canon 6D, and a Sigma 35mm lens. I just asked Kerbins. I was like, "Yo, man, what's gonna help me take my photography? What can I grow into? What's gonna take my photography to the next level?" It's not always about gear, but it helps to grow into something. So he's like, "Just get a full frame camera and a 35, and you'll be set."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, sweet." So
Definitely a good starting point.
yeah,
Having that 35,
Yeah, a lot better. I had a
Yeah.
T5 for like a whole year.
yeah,
That was rough.
yeah. It is
That was
rough.
rough.
Yeah. Well, I had the T6i,
Yeah,
which is a bit better.
It's a lot better.
Whatever.
Well, yeah.
Got the job
Yeah.
done, made us enough money to buy the next camera,
Fair.
which is all you really need.
yeah. I actually, I had no idea what I was gonna do. I just know I wanted to do photography because what I actually ended up doing was I bought the 6D and I didn't have any money left over, like nothing. So I didn't even have enough money for a lens. I had nothing because I was shooting Nikon before, so all my lenses were Nikon. So I actually ended up borrowing one of my friend's lenses, and I was just like rocking like another 50 1.8 or something like that. But I didn't have a lens of my own for like good 4 months or something like that.
Shit, eh?
Yeah,
I mean, whatever gets the job done.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it about photography that kind of like piqued your interest then?
I don't know, man. I think it was just like everything in my world was just visual. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people watch YouTube, they browse Instagram, Facebook, everything like that. And like, you can read text posts and whatever, but normally I just scrolled through them, and eventually I was just like, you know what? I see people's photos and they're looking pretty good. Some people. And I want to do that. So it was just kind of like, yeah, that,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
sweet.
making YouTube videos was a big thing too. Like, yeah, just getting into that. I thought photo would eventually transition into YouTube. So I kind of picked up photography as sort of a way to like document, but in a high quality way, And then I haven't picked up YouTube. I've just been sticking with photography, but yeah.
Do
So
you plan on picking up YouTube still?
maybe eventually. Probably not for a while. Like, yeah, that's exactly it. Probably not for a while. Like, I would probably say it's another, I don't know, 5-10 years out if even YouTube's still a thing.
Yeah.
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 Do any video work or just photography?
Mostly just photography. The video stuff I haven't done a lot of. I do have some opportunities coming up in the future with some like wedding videography, but I don't know. It's a whole other thing, you know? It's like, yeah, bit rates and things you don't have to deal with photography. It's something else, you know?
It's a whole other world.
Yeah. And introducing movement into your shots is difficult too, you know? Like photography is just, you know, your camera is still, but with video you have to like pan and do like a crane or like something craning tilt down or whatever. You have to know all that stuff, and it's difficult for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, I find photography more difficult in one way. So if you're trying to tell a story, it's harder to do it with one picture
Yeah,
than with video, because video you can cut up and then make something like go along with a story.
for sure.
But trying to capture one moment in one picture
Mm-hmm.
to describe the whole story is harder in that way. Like
Sure.
a good picture. Like it's easy to take a shot and like that's your shot.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. But like for an actual good story piece,
Mhm.
it's harder with just one shot for photography, I find.
Yeah. Well, you can create a blog and then you just write a whole story, or you have a couple.
Yeah, but your
That's-
images have to have like you need a wide shot of the place, like a close up, and like
Yeah.
Sure. You do need that with video too, though, right? Because
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
imagine this. Imagine trying to create an entire story with only one scene out of a video, right?
Mm.
It's kind of tough too, right? So
Yeah.
you need both.
Yeah.
You definitely need supplementary stuff. And you guys mentioned that you were looking to like up your storytelling game a little bit. So yeah, there's definitely like, you definitely need more than just one thing to tell a story, you know, whether it be one shot video, one shot photography, or
Mhm.
whatever.
100%. So, like, why is storytelling super important for you?
Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. There's the way that, you know, photography is a way to document your life, and that's for you personally. And I think storytelling is important because, well, it's your life. You want to be able to share it with others and everything like that. And you can't really do that unless you have a compelling story. It doesn't even need to be a compelling story, but you at least need to capture everything along the way. You know, if you have this big chunk of your life, imagine having kids and never taking photos of them, right? It'd be kind of weird, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I have kids. You got any photos? No.
Yeah.
So like photography for an individual is kind of important just to be able to share your story with the people you care about. You know, sometimes that extends to like, you know, followers on Instagram or whatever, or YouTube, or, you know, wherever you have them. But at the end of the day, it's really just about the people that care about you and the people you want to share your story with, you know? On the flip side of that are like the purpose of photography for like brand purposes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So basically the reason why you want to tell a compelling story with brands is because you want to be able to sell something. So if you're looking to make money or do anything like that, you need to learn how to tell a compelling story in order to entice people into looking at whatever it is you're trying to show. That goes with like weddings. Weddings kind of fit more into the personal side of things. Brand work, your personal, you know, adventures or story or whatever. But really everything like that, you know?
Yeah. So do you have like a process? So like if we're talking brand film or brand photography and like storytelling of that, is there like a process that you do to get there?
Well, it's a lot of conceptualization, I think. Like it really depends on what the brand is going for, you know? So for instance, if you're doing food photography, the brand might just want, or they might only have the budget for photos of the finished dishes. So you think about, okay, well, what's this restaurant's brand? Is it sort of like dark and moody? Is it bright and airy? What's their style sort of? And then you just build photos around that. But that doesn't really tell a story. That just kind of showcases the food, right? So for something like that, you don't really need to do a lot of conceptualizing. You just style the food and go to town, you know? But for something that requires a little bit more storytelling, you just got to think. I usually think about, so how would I use this brand's service or product, right? And then how can I capture that in like an aesthetically pleasing way, you know? And then you have to think about, okay, well, then there's a little details like, you know, wardrobe, makeup, hair, if you're even going to use a model, or if you're just going to use a friend, or do you even need a model? Maybe you can just do it all yourself. If you're taking photos of like a pocket knife, for instance, you can really just take photos of hands and ropes and stuff like that. But really it's about creating like a scene, you know? I always kind of approach it like I'm watching a movie, or like creating my own small movie. Think about like, okay, well, what's the setting? What's the purpose? And then go from there, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, because those pocket knife shots were nice.
Thank you.
They're sweet.
They look
Yeah.
sick,
Thanks, man. Yeah, the flat lay or whatever. You saw that?
That was sick. Yeah, everything in the corners, like it's your typical shot for the corners, but like they look so clean, man.
Yeah.
Like just
I got another one here. I'll show you. I know this isn't like really a podcast. I'm sure you guys can cut this out if that's okay with you.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. Here, I'll show you this. I was up at the cottage like a couple weeks ago. See if I can find it. And we have like just some rifles and shotguns, whatever, just for
okay. Like hunting and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't usually hunt. Like we're not big hunters, but you know, if you're out on like the sled or something like that, and there's like a moose, you gotta
shoot the shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, not if it's minding its own business, but if you get attacked by something because it's really out in the bush,
Yeah.
you know, you have to be able to defend yourself. The 22 is really just for just for like target practice, but yeah, it was kind of cool.
nice.
I just like laid it down in the gun case and
Let's see it. I don't know if people will be able to see this.
yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe I'll send it to you guys and maybe you can like throw it up or something
Yeah.
like that. Throw it up on the
there's a
screen.
nice gap right
Yeah,
here.
nice
Throw
gap
it up.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So like something like that, it's, you know, it's about the little details,
Mhm.
you know. That's another thing that you have to focus on with storytelling too, is like, it's good to get the nice big wide shot of everything, but then like, you know, what makes this special?
Yeah.
It's all those little things, you know, like it's like any business, they put their heart and soul into their craft. So whatever products they're producing, as long as they're high quality products, they usually have a lot of detail and whatever else. So capturing that detail is really important.
Yeah, that's why like when I do brand work, I like to talk to the client and like just go through everything. Like, tell me about your product and tell me like all the little details that like you love about your product, and then I know them and I know everything. So when I do video or pictures, I know I'll capture the whys and all that stuff, but I know how to get the one details that they actually love about the work that makes their work unique compared to other people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like having that conversation with a client too, and saying like, what do you love about your products, is almost guaranteed. Like they'll love your photos as long as you take photos of what they say.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Like if I hand you something and I say, I love this about it, and then you take a photo of it, I'm going to go, wow, so cool. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and even if they're on set or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, just take a picture of that." Don't say no because it won't look good, or you don't think it's. Just take the shot.
yeah.
Like even if you don't think it's going to be a good angle, just take the shot. Just because make the client happy. Because
Yeah. I'd rather take the shot, send it to them like, oh, I don't really like that, than to just having a huge argument with them right there. and
yeah,
there.
because then they
Mhm.
don't like you because you're not doing what you're paying for. So
Yeah.
they're paying for.
Yeah. It's not hard, you know. Well, I shouldn't say it's not hard, but it doesn't take a lot of time to take the photo when you're there, you know.
Mhm.
It takes a lot more time if they need something and, you know, they have to call you back in and everything like that. You have to reshoot it, reset everything up. I almost guarantee you it's going to look different in post than the first time because you'll probably have different lighting just from ambient light. So it's just annoying. Just do it the first time, you're right. And
Yeah, and if it takes longer than what you have scheduled, just do it.
Yeah.
Because it'll save you time in post.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Do you notice a difference when you like create story-based content and when you don't?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Like a
And
huge difference?
Oh, huge difference. Yeah. Cause like, here's the thing. You can post like a banger on Instagram, but like that's all it is, you know? And that's not gonna get you very far. Like I do it too. I'm guilty of it, you know. I think everybody is. I don't know if you guys know Alan Palander.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's really, really good at creating a story on Instagram because all of his posts are like those scrolling posts that have like numerous photos to them. And he really focuses in on those details and gets everything. So his stuff is really cool. I think a lot of the stuff that I post on Instagram is kind of like just one-offs. And the reason why I do that is because I don't have the amount of content to create 8 photo slideshows every single post and be posting every single day, right?
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
It's a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, there's definitely a huge difference. Like when I create something story-based versus just like a one-off shot, it's like one of my favorite photos, you know? Or like that set of photos will be one of my favorite sets for like, you know, a longer time than just like one good shot.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
you also have more time spent into it.
Yeah.
You planned it out and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like that satisfaction after you've waited so long, right? You eat your vegetables and then you get dessert afterwards, and dessert tastes better because of it, you know?
There you go.
That's a good way to look at it. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So when you're creating like those stories and stuff, do you already envision and edit like beforehand, or is it like when you get to the computer then you start working on how you're going to edit it?
Well, it's kind of like a process just from first even thinking about it. You know, sometimes I get thrown into things and I'll look at things and I'll be like, okay, well, now I'm in this scenario. How do I create a story out of it? Just there on the spot. Other times, like the photo of the cows that I was telling you guys about, the Highland cows earlier, something like that. I thought to myself, okay, well, what are the shots that I want to create a story? Like, what are the shots that I want? And sometimes it's not even about creating a story necessarily, as creating an interesting composition. I've been really focusing on that a lot too, because Instagram has a lot of the same compositions, at least from what I've seen. So I've been really trying to focus on like, okay, how can I look, even if it's just one photo, not telling a story, how can I look at it a little bit differently than how everybody else would look at it?
Right.
You know? And even that will probably help your photography go to the next level. The shot might suck at first, but it's just trial and error, right?
Yeah.
And the easiest way to do that is to get those like safe shots, is what I call them, like the easy, like the safe, easy ones, whatever. And then after you're done that, focus on, okay, you know, take a step back, look around. How can I approach this from a different angle? Is there any like foreground I can introduce, or, you know, whatever. Right. So yeah, just thinking differently is a big way. But to create a story, it's the whole process, you know, from conceptualization to editing, it's all there, you know?
Yeah, like that's what we do on set too. Like when we do films and stuff like that, like you'll take your normal shots, all your good normal stuff, and after that it's like, okay, now you got 20 minutes, do what you want to do, and go like full out creative, and that's where you get those amazing shots that just like make that product so much better.
Yeah,
and like brings that value like crazy high.
The cinematic shots.
This is cinematic stuff.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you could shoot, you know, I even think about like I don't know, like fruit juice commercials or something like that, right? You can take photos or videos of the box of juice or the bottle of juice or whatever. You can take some videos of the fruit, but like what's really going to step it up is if you like thought of a way to somehow, I don't know, like rain juice over top of the products and shoot that, or like something, right?
Yeah.
Then you figure out lighting, you figure out composition, everything like that. And then now you have a compelling story that's told in a different way. Well, maybe not different, because that's everywhere, right? But
Yeah. Or like having the juice box explode.
exactly.
Like that.
Yeah. So how do I do that, right? You have to think like, okay, who's got some dynamite?
C4.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, you should watch those guys who are on Peter McKinnon's. They're on one of Peter McKinnon's videos. They're out. I think they're in Toronto, and they have the camera on like a robotic, and they set up this whole robotic system just to do like one thing. Like I think it was a s'mores commercial or something.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh yeah, and it like twists, and they all like
It
go
comes into like one s'mores, and the chocolate's like perfect melted and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So stuff like that, right? Is like, you know, somebody just thought to themselves, let's have this deconstructed s'more just reconstruct itself in a video.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how do we do that? To be honest, I have no experience in that. I would have no idea how to like do that at all.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like some
a
robotic, but
It's a full process.
No, I was watching some of their stuff, and I'm trying to remember what else they had. They had like a Tupperware container with fruit in it. It would like probably air. It was on like a pneumatic, would shoot it up, shoot the fruit up, and then like some splash of juice would come out of nowhere, and
Right.
it just looks super sick and real slowed down, obviously, so
Yeah.
people can actually see what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I mean, right? So like it's those types of things that'll just take it to the next level. I mean, the story is one thing, right? You have to think of a story, but then you have to tell it in a compelling way. And the telling it in the compelling way is like, okay, well, how do I get a cool composition out of this, or, you know, get abstract with it or whatever. Even a shot of the Highland cows. When I was there, the photo I wanted to go for was sort of a long angle, like a telephoto shot close to the ground of one of the cattle walking towards me. Pretty basic, pretty like center composition, nothing special. Like, cool, there's a cow walking towards you, but not really, like, it's basic, right? But what I ended up, the best shot that I ended up getting from there was actually, it was still telephoto, but they were kind of like herding together, and I just raised my camera up, and one of their eyes kind of just poked up from the back of the other one, and all you see is just fur and then this eye. Yeah, and that's it.
That's sick. Sweet.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty sick.
it's just things like that, you know. It's you go for one shot, and you know things happen, and everything changes, and then you get something you actually really like.
Yeah. So when you're going to post those on Instagram, do you find like actually writing out a piece about it helps like get people involved with the story type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are pretty shy with feedback. Photographers obviously aren't. Like, we understand the community and everything like that. You know, there's a lot of photographers that will comment on other photographers' photos. But at the end of the day, you kind of just want, I mean, you also want not normal people's perspectives, but like normal people's perspectives. Not photographers.
The average human being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know what they think about it too, right? So it's kind of difficult to gauge whether it works or not. I'm sure it does, from what people have told me, but I like writing out pieces because I feel like it does get people a little bit more involved, or at least it like allows them to kind of just know what happened or whatever.
Understand the photo and like the whole story fully.
Exactly.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So you still shooting with your 6D?
No.
You
No,
okay.
Yeah.
You run Sony now.
Yeah. I got all Sony gear. Yeah.
How do you like that?
It's pretty good. I like the I like the EVF like a lot. The colors aren't as good as Canon, I will say, but the EVF kind of makes up for it. So
yeah, that's true. Good job. Jeez. Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for Canon to release like a newer mirrorless system,
yeah,
like a pro version, like an actual good one, and then I'll jump into that.
Yeah, I think they're making another one.
Yeah, they're making another one, but like I just want to see if it's good. If it's trash, then I'm
And I
not
think
spending.
Sony is talking about the A7S3.
Yeah.
So I saw it on Frono's thing.
I want to go Sony.
yeah.
Rather
I will say this
not.
off record. I hate that Sony puts out so many cameras. Like, I'll buy a new camera next year, obsolete.
Yeah.
This is like, bruh.
True, eh? Yeah, because Canon only releases like every like 4 to 5 years for that one series. For that
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is like Sony will release like A7 III, right? I'll buy A7 III. Okay, that was $2,500. And then next year, now we're releasing A7 IV. By the way, your A7 III is fucking worthless. Like, and then I'm like, oh, nice. Thanks so much for like holding value. You know, camera gear is supposed to, but
Well, I mean, cameras are always like bad value. Like
Yeah.
lenses, yes, but
lenses, I guess.
especially because it's mirrorless, right? So it's old tech. It's not like it used to be. It's not like a DSLR.
Yeah.
So it's all these little components, and it's always tech stuff. So it's obviously going to like quickly change.
Yeah.
Especially because Sony's brand new, somewhat brand new.
Yeah, they are pretty brand new.
So
So, yeah, fair.
they're trying to stay up there.
Yeah, they are. That's
Oh,
the thing.
man.
They're trying to just release new stuff and stay at the top.
They're doing well though.
Yeah.
Holy.
So what's kind of like your editing process?
Well, it depends on the job. It depends on the photo and like everything like that. Like a lot of the times I'll take the shot, I'll throw it in Lightroom. Like my organization is a little bit tricky. Like I'd like to keep all my files very well organized, and I think that's important for any photographer. in case you have to go back or anything like that. But in terms of editing, I usually just use like Lightroom, and then if I have to get rid of, large things in photos, then I'll use Photoshop. But for the most part, it's all done Lightroom.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So what's your process for like filing everything? Like, did you just learn by yourself, or did you?
Yeah, well, I worked
Okay.
for a wedding photography studio here in Ottawa. So I was editing all their photos, so I kind of learned like what their process were, and the owners of the studio were both computer science people. I don't know, not kids; they're old now.
Yeah.
But they had computer science jobs, developing jobs, things like that before they became photographers. So their file naming conventions and like their pathways and everything like that were all very organized. So I just kind of stole it off them. I have like my work in progress folder, my archive folder, and then I'll have in like both, lifestyle, weddings, nature, products, commercial, whatever. And then once you go in, like I'll know if I'm shooting something like for a restaurant, it's going to be in commercial because the photos are being used commercially. So if a restaurant hits me up and says, hey, we lost the photos, can you find them for us? I'll go, okay, the archive, when things are finished, go into my commercial stuff, find the date that the shoot was, and then just go from there.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really helpful too. Just to like keep things organized. I used to just like, whenever I'd edit photos, I'd just throw it in a file folder called edits. And like, it was hellish trying to find photos, like trying to go through them all and whatever else. So it definitely helps. I just go year, month, day, dash, name of the person who's in the photos or name of the client or whatever, and then dash, and then what the photos are of.
Holy shit, eh? Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do. I do it that way. I don't do the whole like nature commercial. That all I have is like a 2019 folder, and then every month I'll have a folder inside there. I have all the days of all the clients' name.
Yeah, so that works too. I mean, it's really just
it all depends on preference.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
mine's
nice.
kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Kind of like I have like 2019, and then I have like Instagram, which is generally stuff I'm gonna post on IG, and then I have one that's like clients, but then everything's dated by like month.
Right.
So for me, it's easy to find just because if something's for Instagram, I'm just going to Instagram. Boom.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
to the
See, I
month
don't
and
even
like-
keep a folder for Instagram stuff. I just look. I kind of know what shots I'm gonna post and like which ones I like and which ones I don't. I'm not posting that much anyways right now. Like, I'm not posting every day or anything like that. So, I should be, but for the most part, I know which photos I'm gonna post. So
Yeah, and that's why I love Lightroom. Lightroom is just amazing for catalog and everything.
yeah, for
It's a
sure.
breeze.
I use that a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you analyze your shots as you edit? Like, do you look at them and be like, okay, I could have done this differently, could have done this differently, or do you kind of just plow through the edit and then move on to the next type of thing?
Not when I'm editing, no. My process is more like I said, I learned my organization process from wedding photography, and I probably take like, I don't know, thousands of photos every wedding day. So my process actually goes sort of like, I'll go through all the photos and just click which ones I like. If there's something that happened during the day that I tried to take photos of and none of the photos turned out, then I'll be like, okay, what could I have done differently? That being said, once I finish an edit, if there's something about it I don't like and I can't fix, then I'll say, okay, well, what could I have done differently? For instance, there's a shot on my Instagram with all the fall leaves and everything like that. And there's like this body of water kind of at the top of the photo. The body of water is like just glaringly bright. And there's no way I can fix it in post because I didn't have a polarizing filter on. So after I edited it all, after I did all my stuff, like the next step in the edit was, okay, how do I get this water to be less obnoxious in my photo? And I couldn't. So then I go, okay, well, I messed up. What can I do differently next time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it very important to like analyze your shots so you actually know where you fucked up and like where you should be doing better. So you're not just staying on the same level. You're actually like leveling up your game as you go along type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of that is the headspace you're in when you're shooting too. And like I said, when we talked earlier about composition and finding an interesting composition, like I think that's that and telling a story are the two biggest things. Like, anyone can learn how to operate a camera. It's not hard because there's only a finite number of settings. Once you learn shutter speed, ISO, and aperture, like, you can expose anything properly, you know?
Yeah.
But the way to, I think, really elevate your photography is to say, okay, well, how can I look at this different? How can I look at this different than everybody else? And then show people how I looked at it, you know? Yeah. So I think definitely looking at your shots and seeing what you did wrong is important. But I think you need to, the first step is thinking, okay, well, what can I try new? Right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. So as a freelance photographer, do you tend to use like contact sheets to let the clients choose the photo? Let the clients choose the photos, or do you just choose the photos?
Depends on the client. I usually just choose the photos. Like, I know what's good and what's not. Normally what I'll do is I'll create a bunch of edits. Say a client pays me money for 3 photos, just for argument's sake.
Yeah.
And usually what I'll do is I'll give them a roll of 10 fully edited, fully completed photos that I really like, and say, here are 10 photos for you to choose from. Choose the 3 that you like. Right? Then that also gives them the opportunity to say, oh, well, I really like those 3, but I also really like these 2. And then you can say, okay, well, I'll sell you those 2 as well for X number of dollars. And it's just a good way to upsell. And it gives them a lot of choice and a little bit more of like, a little bit more say in what photos they want to use. But I've had a couple of client shoots where I've just, you know, I've been on good terms with the client, and so they hire me for X number of photos, and I take a whole bunch, and it's way over what they paid me for. But I'll just go, yeah, here, you know, take them all, use them for what you want, and whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's also nice for like hopefully getting them to hire you back
Again, yeah.
just because, oh, he said this much, but like he over delivered, you know. I like
Exactly.
this guy type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is always really good. Yeah.
Yeah, over delivery is key. Although you have to also make sure that you don't kind of create expectations that you don't want to live up to. So if they hire you again and the shoot is like crazy expensive, or they have this budget and, you know, you don't want to go above and beyond, or you can't go above and beyond for whatever reason, if they expect you to at that point, then you've kind of backed yourself into a hole. So you have to just balance, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
100%. Yeah. What's your main stream to get work? Like, is it through Instagram, word of mouth, website?
Probably word of mouth and just like cold calling, honestly.
Oh,
Or like
okay.
just chasing up stuff, man. Like, if you hear something, if you hear like an opportunity, or you see somebody who might need photos done, I'm like, hey, I send them a message right then and there. I don't wait. I don't try to, I don't know. I don't even often try to like get a contact within the organization, or try to get a contact like a mutual friend or anything like that. I usually just send a message and just say, hey, I take photos. You need photos. What's up?
Yep.
You know?
Shoot your shot and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was big with me for wedding photography too, was like Facebook is amazing for that. Amazing, because everybody's posting, oh, we got engaged, yay, and whatever. And I click on their name and I say, hey, congrats on your engagement. That's awesome. And I'm a wedding photographer. Check my stuff out. And that's it.
Smart.
Shit. Does that work a lot?
Yeah.
Shit. Eh? Damn.
Yeah,
Good tip for
Facebook's
good tip for you
great.
guys.
Yeah. Well, at least gets your foot in the door. Like, here's the thing. I've only ever had one client hire me with no information about me or anything. 2, actually. But every other client I've at least met up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I send messages on Facebook, or if I send an email or anything like that, I don't say like, hey, you guys need photos. Here are my prices. Like, let's take some photos, you know? I just send them a message and I say, hey, I noticed that you might be able to use some photography for your Instagram or your website or something like that. If you have some time next week, I'd love to sit down and chat. That's it. Just get the face-to-face, you know, and then do your talking in person. Email's like a really convoluted way to talk business, but get the rapport and go face to face, and yeah.
Yeah, and then you can know if your client's a good client or not. Like I don't know, like it depends on the person, because like some photographers are picky of like, I want only like clients that are like these kind of people, just because I don't want to be shooting this kind of stuff, right? So doing a face to face, you can actually like understand the client and see like what kind of person they are, and if it's going to be a good match for you or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Shoot.
I mean, I get emails all the time on Instagram, or from people on Instagram being like, "Hey, we have some phone case straps we'd love you to try," and I'm like, no.
I mean, I'll take them for free.
No, I don't even say that. Honestly, I'm just like, no, because here's the thing. I'm not an influencer. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to sell products on my Instagram. What I want to do, not like phone cases anyways.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing to do about phones. Like there's nothing on my Instagram about phones.
That's true.
It's all photography related, photography and lifestyle related. Oh, I like this knife, cool knife. That's something that interests me. If a knife company hit me up and said like, "Hey, we saw your photo. We'd love for you to take some photos for our knives and post them on your Instagram," I go, okay. But phone cases, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. So you just have to know your brand really, because like what they're asking for is your public persona on Instagram anyways. So like when you get emails like that, they're asking you to endorse their brand, but like I don't know anything about their brand, or I don't use their brand. So how can I really endorse it? You just have to be genuine. But that being said, if somebody like Canada Goose or something like that hit me up and said, "Hey, we want you to post on your Instagram," they wouldn't now, but maybe in the future. "Hey, we want you to post on your Instagram some photos that you took of our Canada Goose jacket." I'd be like, "Yeah, sure," because it's a brand I like.
Yeah, it makes sense. Brand you use, brand you like.
Yeah,
100%. I feel like a lot of influencers tend to go like off-brand just to secure that little bag.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not so little sometimes, but But yeah, I think in the long run, you're better off just doing what you think is right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And even like clients like I've shot for a restaurant in Ottawa. I don't post any of the photos I took for them on my feed. I might post them on my story for people to enjoy, but I don't post it on my feed because it's not really what my feed is about.
Yeah,
it's not about food. I love food, but it's not about that.
That's true. I love food too, man.
Yeah.
So, how did you get to work with Lyft?
Yeah, so actually, Lyft was really interesting. It's good that we were talking about this off of our just finished conversation, because I was approached by a marketing agency who asked me to do some influencing for Lyft. And they said, "Hey, we want, like, Lyft is opening up in Ottawa. We want you to post on your story, post on your Instagram about Lyft opening up." And I shot them an email back, and I was just like, "Hey, I appreciate the email. Thanks for reaching out. It's not really on brand for me." I said it a little bit nicer than this.
Yeah.
But it's not really on brand for me. My audience on Instagram likes photography. If you guys would be interested, I would love to take some photos for Lyft and then post them. So at least it's sort of photography related. Take some photos for Lyft and then post them to help endorse it.
Yeah.
Right. So they hit me back and they said, "Yeah, it's a great idea. What were you thinking?" I was like, "I don't know, like do three photos and one post and make a carousel." And that goes hand in hand with the storytelling too. But they just said, "Sure." And we did it, sent them the photos. And then they also wanted me to capture, they had an event going on, like a launch event.
Yeah.
So they actually also hired me to do the photos for that as well, just for their own use and whatever. So, but yeah, so with the Lyft photos that I posted, I thought to myself, how can I make this on brand? Well, my brand is about storytelling, photography. So let's combine the two. I got one of my friends who I'd shot with before. We went out to a cafe downtown in Ottawa. I took a photo of her, her and her coffee with her phone out, took a photo of the face of the phone with the Lyft logo on it, and then took a photo of her. We actually traveled down to another neighborhood because downtown wasn't pretty enough, and got a photo of her like entering the car. So Yeah, like
Perfect.
I said, it's really just about, setting and how you use the product and like how can you do that in an appealing way. And I was like, you know what, like getting coffee, everybody likes it.
Yeah.
So coffee date, and I related it to school too because I'm in school. So that's it. Yeah. They just reached out.
Sweet.
They reached out for one thing. I redirected them more towards what I wanted to do, and they thought it was a great idea, and that's how I got to work with Lyft.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good.
So is freelance right now just a side hustle, or is it a full-time job, or a bit of both?
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. I mean, it's a side hustle right now, about to turn into a full-time job.
Okay.
So I've been in school for the last 3.5 years. I have 4 more months to go. So up until this point, I haven't been able to take it full-time just because of school and everything else. But hopefully once that's done, I can go full-time and really, put my all into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did an interesting experiment actually. The beginning of last semester, somewhere in there, where every single day for an entire week, I would take an hour out of my day, just 1 hour, that's it. And I would email, I don't know, like 10 companies or something like that and try to get a sale. Right. And because of that 1 week of work, like 7 hours, that's it. I made more money with photography than I had pretty much any other month of my career.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
it's really just a matter of like you put the work in and as long as you're selling a high quality product,
Yeah.
you're fine,
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's crazy how much just 1 hour a day consistently can change things,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's smart. I should probably start doing that.
Yeah, you gotta go on the sales side too, right? Like you're a photographer, but you gotta sell yourself
Yeah.
to get work, or else
Yeah.
work won't come to you
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you start.
Very true.
Once you're bigger than then you'll get the bigger company just come to you, but you just gotta sell yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
get
even
those most of
then,
the time.
man, like the only,
yeah.
I would say the only people that don't have to worry about companies coming to them or going out and finding companies are like Annie Leibovitz, who's working for Vogue right now, I think. Like really those like
Like the big shots.
yeah. The top tier photographers. Because I know for a fact, even people that I know with hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and, a photo resume as long as my arm, they're still going out and like hunting those clients and marketing themselves and everything like that. It doesn't stop. Like
Yeah.
there's almost no point where it just like you can just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Oh no, you always
That's
have
true.
to go on that side. But
Yeah.
you can get more recommendations instead of just
Yeah.
you're not every single day have to reach out like crazy.
Yeah.
You get those recommendations and then you send your proposal and your brief and then
Yeah. For
get
sure.
those clients.
Yeah, getting referrals is definitely nice. It takes a lot of stress off. But yeah, like you have to treat it. You really do have to treat it like you're running a business.
Mm-hmm.
How are you marketing? How are you selling yourself? Who are you selling yourself to, and what are you selling? So yeah, like cold calling, great when you're first starting out. Hopefully, you can get that referral side of things quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Have you ever actually cold called? Actually called someone?
emailed.
Email? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never called. Never because people don't really have time. Emails are a lot better because they're instant like a phone call in the sense that when you send it, somebody's computer receives it,
Mm-hmm.
but people will respond to it when they have time.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Sweet. So
I have a little tip too.
Yeah, go for it.
I actually you can look into business management software for your computer. It's like a browser. When I send an email, this might be a little bit TMI. When I send an email, I can actually see when the person I sent it to opens it and then clicks the link in it. So it's really interesting, the
That's
information
smart,
that gets relayed. So when I'm cold calling, I send an email, I can see when they've opened it. I can see when they've read it. So if I see that they've read it and a week goes by, I'll send them another email, follow up, whatever else. If I see that they haven't read it, then I might cold call. I might go into the store and just say, hey, I sent you guys an email. Don't know if you saw it. It usually means it probably got put in spam if they didn't read it. But yeah, kind of a cool little thing. Like, definitely look into business management software because it really helps. It really does.
That's useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You can also see if someone is ignoring you.
Ignoring you, exactly right. Like, yeah. So okay, they read, right. So like, if they haven't even had time to read your email, you don't want to send them a follow up because then you just seem pushy.
Yeah.
You know. But if you see that they've read your email, they haven't answered, you might want to send them a follow up. Maybe
Down the road, yeah.
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 You get a lot of no's though. A lot of no's. People just go, nope, not interested.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah. What's your ideal client? It's definitely a hard question to answer, but
Yeah.
So like, what's the biggest brand or like something you want to work on, like a big project you're down for,
A big project.
or small?
I would say this is a tough one for sure. Ideal client. I can't say any one specific brand because
or what niche then type?
I can't say that either because there's so many. Like, even I mentioned Canada Goose. Like, I would love to work with Canada Goose, one day.
Yeah.
But any whiskey companies or like knife companies or snowmobile companies or like, really, there's so many different things that I would want to do.
Yeah.
I would say the ideal client would be really, it's actually pretty simple. It's somebody who not contacts me, but somebody who says, we love your work. We want you to take photos of our products. You have full creative control and we'll pay you whatever you want. That's ideal client. Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Like they recognize that you are good at what you do and they don't try to control it. I've had a couple of clients, like, they kind of want to control things a little bit, or they try to give insight into like what they want out of the photos, but they end up just being like, I want this and that and that. And if you don't do it exactly like that, I'm going to be pissed.
Just micromanage everything. It's
Exactly.
Just like,
yeah. So
Like-
I mean, yeah, just give the artist like creative control and just pay them what they ask,
yeah. Because you're
That's it.
paying us to do something. Let us just do it.
Yeah.
Don't pay
Yeah.
us and then just do it yourself.
Right.
Like, here's my camera. Just do it yourself then, and pay
Yeah.
me if that's what's gonna go.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like one of those things where, like, if you hire an electrician, I love giving analogies,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause
Oh
people-
yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, people always think of photography as like sort of anyone can do it, but it's not exactly true. Anyone can. It does have like a low entry rate or like barrier to entry.
Yeah.
In the fact that anybody can pick up a camera, anybody can, click a shutter.
Yeah.
But anyone could plug one wire into another, but you still hire an electrician to wire your house,
Yeah.
And if you tell them, like, I always think it's funny, like, you would never hire an electrician to just stand over them and tell them how to do their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just go, hey, I need this job done. I need these wires, whatever.
Yeah.
I need you to do what you do. Go do it.
Yeah.
But there seems to be like a lot of people who, like, they look at photography and they go, well, this isn't exactly how I wanted it. So, but
Which is a bummer.
yeah, it is. But I mean, you also have to appeal to the client too.
Yeah.
It's not always a bummer. It's just when I will say this, clients can sometimes make your life difficult, not impossible, but difficult. But it doesn't happen often. And when it does happen, it's not a huge deal. You just got to work through it. And that's it. But ideal client would be like, we're going to pay you whatever you ask, whatever you want. And like, here's our product and here's what we kind of want out of it.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
you have a
like-
rough idea.
Yeah,
like-
because you always need a little bit of direction.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would never expect somebody to just hand me their product and then say like, okay, go take photos of it.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you want? Like, do you want travel photos? Do you want like lifestyle photos? Do you want product shots, catalog photos, because that's a big one too, right?
Yeah.
Online stores. But yeah, so yeah, ideal client is a little bit of direction and yeah, the rest of all that.
That's fair. So I know you love to travel a lot. Do you have any like plans to travel in 2020?
I do. Nothing firm yet. I do want to go to a couple spots. I do want to hit up Scotland really, really bad. I have a lot of family in the UK on my mom's side. So I think that would be kind of cool just to like go out there and, you know, bug out for a couple days and just get a car and I'd probably just camp in the car, to be honest. I was thinking about renting like one of those Defenders. It's like classic Instagram shit, you know, but like they're fun. They're awesome cars, you know?
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking like, save up some money and go out there, but we'll have to see. I really wanted to go out in March. Yeah. But I'll still be in school, so I don't think the UK is gonna happen this year. Probably next year. But there's a couple other places on my list out east. I was thinking near Mongolia or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like Thailand or shit like that.
Yeah, something. You know, go back to Hawaii maybe.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Are nice.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jamie Lee, who's just on 2 episodes ago from this one, he traveled out there for I think like almost all of summer.
Oh, really?
Couple months, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
couple months, and like just literally traveled by himself and like hit up like Thailand, Philippines, like all
Crazy.
that area and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So if you do plan on going out there, hit him up because
Yeah.
he can definitely give you some information on that.
for sure, man.
He
Yeah.
knows a lot about it.
I mean, I've heard it's cheap, like with food and stuff. So
Oh yeah, he was eating full meals for $2.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
Nuts.
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to Scotland, man, whiskey.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Product shots there, like it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about it. I really wanted to I have this goal. It's just kind of like a thought right now, but I really wanted to do sort of a travel photo book or 2 travel photo books. One sort of a little bit more moody and dark and like lonesome, I guess, or like what's the word I'm looking for? Like solitary. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Kind of like a street style type of thing then.
Yeah, but I want to stay out. Like I want to just do landscapes. I'm more attracted to
Okay.
like nature and stuff. So I wouldn't want to go to like the cities or anything like that. But kind of just a little bit more dark, I guess, is the
Yeah.
word for it. And then do one that's like a little bit more bright. The more like classic. Wow, that's colorful and bright and cool and
Yeah.
whatever. And then just like release them. I don't know how it's gonna work yet, but definitely Scotland would probably be a little bit darker, I think. And that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
definitely.
cool. Yeah. The other trick with that though too is like I feel as though in order to do a photo book like that, like obviously I post a lot of my photos online. I post them on my website, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever. But the trick then is to keep some photos to yourself
Yeah.
to put in the photo book.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to shoot a lot of photos and then
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then that way you can say like never before seen photos, like check it out. People buy the book.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Fund the trip, maybe, you know, fingers crossed.
Fun the next trip.
Yeah, fund the next trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like almost like write little story pieces about each photo and something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even like
just
even,
to give context to it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just fill it with like landscapes or, you know, people if you're with people or
Mhm.
cars or, you know, whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun project to do.
Yeah. It's a big task, but you know.
It's worth it, Matt.
Yeah.
Like once you get the final product and it's printed in your hands, you're like, it was worth it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Do you have like a 2020 game plan?
Just work, man. You know, it's like it's an everyday thing. Like it's gotten so much less glamorous for me over the years. I've been doing it for about 3 years now. And like when I first started, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Like I'm going to travel, and I traveled and I took photos. I'm going to take photos and I took photos. And now it's like, okay, well, I need money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like, you know, I just want to take my business to the next level, right? So it's like, it's just, that's what it is it's grinding it out, you know, 9 to 5 every day, sending emails and cold calling and shooting if you have a shoot, and just keep growing and keep, you know, doing your thing. It's really not glamorous, you know, it's work.
Yeah.
So my goals for 2020 are finish school, and then just hustle, really. Get my business going full time
Yeah.
would be the biggest one.
So what kind of business would you want to run? Is would it be more it probably won't be studio based, but would it be more like, is it in the wedding realm of things, or would it be just more like outdoors? Like,
Yeah. So, I mean, I have two actually, technically, like registered businesses. One is for sort of the Will Carey stuff that you guys see, and then the other is for my wedding stuff, which is kind of run completely separately. Weddings are good. They're very seasonal though. Like you only shoot them in the summer, and you can only shoot so many before you get burnt out. Which kind of doesn't appeal to me because it means that there's like a very low ceiling when it comes to like the amount of money you can make. There's a low ceiling. So I would say full time doing both, but definitely need to work more on the brand side of things and the commercial side of photography more than wedding photography. And like that includes studio work, but it also includes like regular lifestyle stuff as well, you know? So yeah, I will say I did accomplish a couple goals recently. I wouldn't really call them 2020 goals because I actually really agree with what you said about I don't need a new year to like tell me what I should be doing differently. Like if something's not working for me, I just try to recognize it and then do something different, you know? But finishing school is big. I'm finishing school with no debt, which is also big. Yep. And I actually took out a loan to start my photography thing. And that's completely paid off as well. So I'm like just smooth sailing from here on out. It's just time to work, you know, that's it.
Shit, eh? That's
yeah,
pretty
that's
sweet.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. What are you taking in school?
Law.
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot of work, but, you know,
Do you plan on going into law, or do you plan on just sticking with photography?
I don't know, man. I honestly, I'm just riding the wave right now. Like I applied to law school. I'm doing an undergrad in law.
Okay.
So I applied to law school. You know, if I get into law school, then I'm going to try to balance photography and law school. And if I don't get into law school, then I just have to worry about photography and,
Yeah.
you know, that's it.
It's always good to have that backup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
But if you become a lawyer, you need to buy a Leica at some point.
yeah.
You just have to join a club of every other one.
Yeah.
Lawyer.
Yeah. The Leica crew. I know a couple people that shoot Leica actually.
Yeah.
They're pretty nice. They're nice cameras for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Expensive, but
Yep.
jeez.
Worth it.
Yeah.
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 You'll have the
You
money.
you can get away with it. It's just like it's a nice collection piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
that's
much.
True. That's true. Want to roll over in the lightning round?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have the lights, but we'll do lightning round.
So I have no idea what lightning round is. But
So it's 10 not random, but 10 questions on the top of your head, and you just have to answer them. Right
okay.
away.
Yeah. Do you want to ask the questions this time?
Like just first thing that pops into my mind or like first answer.
Yeah.
All right,
pretty
let's
much.
go.
We need to start timing these in 2020
Yes.
just to see
We'll
at
do
the
the
end of the
timer.
year
How fast people go.
how
Yeah.
fast.
All right, I'll try to give simple answers. I'll try to keep it like off the top. Let's go.
Oh, it's taken us 20 minutes to answer. Us answering our own questions.
Oh, really?
Oh, it took us a while.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
Famous person you'd like to meet?
Oof. Donald Trump.
Fuck, eh? Best piece of advice you've received?
Best piece of advice I've received. Stop buying so much photography equipment. I want to clear up the Donald Trump thing. I don't support him. I think it would just be hilarious to meet him and just see what he's like as a person. He has a public persona. I want to see what he's like in private.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Just so we're clear. I'm not trying to get political on here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. He's in the news a lot, so
Yeah. Morning or night person?
both.
Okay. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Tough one. No cost or anything like that.
No cost. Wherever you want to live, that's where you're living.
Probably Vancouver.
Oh, shit. Okay. Dinner with 3 celebrities. Who are you picking?
3 celebrities. That's a tough one.
Or like 3 people in general.
Yeah, Chris D'Elia, because he's hilarious. Brad Pitt, and one more. I'm trying to think. Janae Aiko.
Okay, I have no idea who the last person is.
Singer. She's
Ah,
a singer.
okay.
She's dating Big Sean right now.
Oh shit. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Best learning experience so far.
Learning experience so far. Really just the whole career, you know, like just going through it every single day and just figuring things out. Figuring things out for myself. I will say working for another photography studio at weddings was a great way to learn, because weddings especially are so encompassing. You have to know product photography, landscape photography, portrait photography, photojournalism, all these different things. So if you guys like, if you can get into a studio or like somebody who has consistent weddings and you can shoot those like every single weekend throughout the summer, you will learn so much. I was doing all their editing too. So like I was going through all the photographers' photos, looking at everything, what works, what doesn't. Oh, this is cool. How did you do that? Whatever. So that's best learning experience right there. Yeah.
First thing you'd buy if you won $1 million.
Oof. A car. Or actually probably a house. A house with like an office space in it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Who would you call if you got put into jail?
Probably my dad.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
And what would you tell your younger self?
What would I tell my younger self? Don't drink so much. Start doing photography sooner. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I was a bit of a shithead in high school, so I would probably like. I always think about that. If I knew what I knew now when I was like 16, oh, things would be different. I probably wouldn't have gone to school, to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you have survived lightning round.
Yeah.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
That was actually probably one of our fastest yet.
I tried. I mean, you guys told me it was lightning round, so I was just trying to
You brought it, man. You
bang
brought
it
it.
out. You know.
Do you have any questions for us?
Like
If not, it's totally fine.
favorite photo shoot you've done to date?
I have two that are popping to the top of my head right now.
Okay, what are they and why?
One of them would be the shoot we did with Annalisa
Yeah.
on I don't even where that thing's called.
Patinage en forêt.
Yeah, something like that. It's basically a canal through a forest type of thing.
Okay,
So we did a shoot there. I filmed a vlog of it.
sweet.
The lighting was just perfect. She was actual figure skater, so she could do like the cool tricks and stuff like that. And like it just worked.
Cool.
So that's one of my favorite. And also probably like this stage one we just shot.
Yeah. That's my number one.
That's one of
What's stage one?
So yeah, we can drop it.
It's already out.
Yeah,
so
we haven't really
I
talked
can
about
drop
it. You'll talk about it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to go more into commercial stuff and more like studio based stuff, so lifestyle. So then I set up like these kind of stages. So stage one was just me having a whole crew and setting up an actual full stage. So instead of just doing like a normal backdrop and like studio light, it's an actual setup. So like a chair, table, like an actual full setup, which I want to like keep going, doing things like that. So we did two setups. The first one was like the best one. It was like an IKEA style setup, which was just super dope.
Cool.
And then we brought in a model, and she's a stylist as well, which was awesome. So like she picks her outfits all the time. She like 4 or 5 outfits. Like we were set. I had like a makeup artist in. Ace came in, did the BTS video of it. So it's a full crew, and it's just like doing a bunch of shoots like that. And that was like probably one of my best shoots so far.
Yeah. I will say like having a team, man, definitely helps like increase that quality for sure.
Big time. And it's just like doing the whole process from like strategizing like the whole setup and like what kind of shots I want exactly. And like it's just it's fun going through the whole process.
There's our audio piece for the video.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely one of our favorites. Like, especially because like doing those allows you to learn so much more because there's so many other people involved. You know, you have different opinions on different stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, definitely one of my favorite shoots, especially for me. Like I only just shot video because I'm trying to learn more video stuff. So like it's definitely good for me as a learning experience. So that, and it's a good portfolio piece as well, since you can actually take the time, since you have all the time in the world to do it, and like you have other people there to help you and stuff like that. So yeah, it's probably one of our favorites.
It's kind of interesting. Like as a photographer, I find myself kind of not giving credit, not giving credit, but sort of like the stylist, for instance, downplaying the importance of their role in a photo shoot, you know? And I think a lot of people do that. right?
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half the time you don't even tag them. It's insane.
Yeah,
Mhm.
don't tag them, or like, even brands, like I've told a couple brands like, oh, we should hire models, stylists, whatever, like trying to put together a whole thing. They just go, we don't need any of that. And I'm like,
Debatable.
yeah, you probably should if you want something
time.
like professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's kind of crazy how much something like someone like a stylist could increase that sort of quality of your final finished photo.
Especially
No.
if you're looking for a certain look.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was looking for a certain look exactly. And I showed her a mood board. I'm like, this is the kind of vibes I want. This is exactly what I want. And she got the pieces and it just matched perfectly.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have done that, she might have just came in leggings and a shirt. And I would have
Mhm.
been like, this is not what I want to shoot.
Yeah.
And it would just screwed up everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's even great. Like that right there is like first steps. You said you wanted to move to more commercial work, and like creating those mood boards and having that vision goes exactly back to what we were talking about with storytelling. It's like you have this vision. How do we realize it? And how do we tell the story along the way? Well, a mood board is a great way to do that. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's always just about like planning, and then executing.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because you can just shoot and it looks good. But
you don't
production's a big part of it
Mhm.
at the start.
You don't really grow from that
No,
either. Like
exactly.
You can, but like actually doing your own thing from A to B, learning everything. You also know how hard it is for other people's jobs, and you can make their jobs easier and stuff like that. you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I will say the one thing I dislike that I find myself doing a lot is shooting vertical. I feel like Instagram has
Yeah.
absolutely ruined horizontal shooting for me. And it's so frustrating because like sometimes I look at a vertical photo and I think, oh, that would have been so good horizontal. Why didn't I shoot it horizontal? And like I just shake my head at myself. So annoying.
I feel you on that, man. I literally just started forcing myself to shoot horizontal, or even take the same shot but shoot it in both.
Yeah.
Because worst case horizontal, you can always kind of crop down later.
Yeah.
If you need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you follow Brandon Wolfel?
Yep.
Yeah, he just shoots horizontal,
Yeah.
which is really interesting, actually.
Yeah, well, he's kind of built his brand around it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, well, a little bit, but yeah, it's like wedding days, I shoot all horizontal as well. But when it comes to like, when it's a photo I know I'm going to post on Instagram, it's like, it's just tough. I should
Yeah.
shoot it horizontally just in case I want to use it for literally anything else on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
But
Or
then I just end up shooting it.
And then
Even shoot both in worst case.
Yeah, I know.
and the thing is, like, you're so used to Instagram, so you're so used to leaving space for the crop for Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't frame your shots how it should be framed.
Mhm.
You frame it in post to make it for Instagram, which is a big downfall. And you don't learn as much because you just do it in post instead of actually walking up closer to the person and actually getting the shot perfectly framed the way you want it right out of camera.
Yeah.
Which is what I started doing this year, going horizontal, and I'm going back to like screw Instagram.
Hmm.
If it doesn't work for Instagram, and then go back and just go tighter in, get those close, detailed shots,
Yeah, for sure.
which tells the story like 10 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing you have to think about too is like, well, what are brands using photos for nowadays? Usually Instagram, So it's not terrible, but you definitely need, I think people should be wary about falling into like that habit, because once you make it a habit, it's so hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. It all depends on your clients, right? It's like I had a couple clients I had to shoot wide because it was for banners and like stuff like that. So you need space for writing. So it's like put your subject a lot more to the left or to the right to have that room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you shoot wider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely being a versatile photographer is one of the best things.
Oh, for sure.
Just knowing how to capture almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
No. Master lighting and you're good.
Yeah, that's really it. Well, lighting and focal lengths, I would say. Like, I know some people take, like, I personally, I don't like car photos at wide focal lengths. If I'm taking a car photo, it's almost always 70 millimeters and above. Almost always.
Should I?
Yeah. Like, so it's just little things like that. Like, just you learn and find what you like and go from there.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks for having me,
It
guys.
was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you taking the trip out here.
Yeah. It's kind of far, but it's all good.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, iTunes, and on Spotify. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Give us a nice rating to help us grow in the charts. Make sure to check out the podcast on Instagram at Born to Create at Born to Create Podcast. Holy crap. And make sure to check out our stories for like polls and stuff like that. Shoot us a DM. Let us know about feedback, stuff like that. We just want to help grow and help you guys learn more and gain more knowledge. Where can people find you on social media?
At Will Carey OVO. That's like Drake's OVO on Instagram and Twitter. That would probably be the best place.
Yeah, everything will be linked in the description there. You can find me on Instagram at acef.media.
And then me at Francois Mittens.
Yeah.
And have a good holiday.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Enjoy the break if you have a break.
Merry
if
Christmas.
not, grind on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And most of all, stay woke.
Always.